Hi guys, and welcome to a quick off-the-cuff Geek Talk, unplanned, unscripted, and I've got my mate Simon Forsyth, who you probably know. Yeah, he's feeling a bit uncomfortable, guys, but I want you to show him some love because I think he doesn't like seeing himself on camera like a lot of us. I don't like seeing myself on camera either, so don't worry about it. So I'm not trying to embarrass him. Simon's, as if you're on the Facebook group, you'll know that Simon's on the Facebook group there, and he's a bit of a tech head and a really good guy. And he's popped down today to come and say hi, and I've roped him into doing a video. So he's going to give me a tenner. Thanks, he has a tenner to say good stuff, but I owe you a tenner as well. So we'll do a floating tenner. So anyway, guys, we're going to set the camera up on a different angle. Simon's actually come here today to explain to me how this baby works. I'm fostering it for you. I've been looking after it for him for a while, but he's going to show me how it works. So I thought, instead of just me getting the pleasure, I'm going to put the camera on this, and hopefully you guys can learn something too. So Simon, let's jump into it.
Bang. Okay, so nothing coming out at the moment because we kind of start with the mixer because that's where the sound is brought to the outside world. Now these pots are slightly unusual because one direction will give you one waveform and then another direction will give you a different waveform. Mm-hmm. So if we just turn that anti-clockwise, we could get a basic sawtooth, and in the other direction it will give us a pulse wave. So we have two oscillators. There's our second oscillator. So that's our basic buzzy sound. If we want to get slightly different tones, we can go to pulse waves, and then we can start. These are the two oscillators here, so these are the parameters we can change with the oscillators. So if I play that, we can hear that's the width of the pulse wave that I'm changing there, and you can hear the corresponding change in sound. So that's more of a hollow tone.
More hollow, yeah.
And then over the other extreme is thinner.
Yeah.
A sort of reedier tone. And then we can add in and again we've got the same control for the second oscillator.
Yeah.
So that's just giving us a different kind of harmonic content for our source waveform. Get very loud very quickly. So other controls on the oscillators, we've got our modulation sources for here, so we could introduce, I'll go back to one oscillator again so we can hear. So I can choose different sources for modulation. So if I choose a simple one like the LFO, and then I can either send that to frequency, there you go, that's a triangle waveform for the LFO, so that's just moving the pitch up and down, or I can send that over to the pulse width, which is this control, and then it will, so we can hear that pulse width changing. We've got the same control here for the oscillator too, so if I bring that in, and again, we've got again frequency or pulse width for that kind of big, wide, sort of moving sound.
Oh yeah.
Bringing it up into higher rates, and you get that kind of very spook and spell.
But these things are just like alive, aren't they? It's like things you can't do this with a digital synth.
Well, I mean, what you're hearing is the sound of electricity passing through this. There's no samples or computations happening. It's literally the sound of electrons whizzing through wires and being turned into sound. So it's a very organic kind of quality to it. So we've got our oscillators, then we've got our so going into our mixer, but before that we've got our filter stage, which allows us to shape the sound even more. So go for this is our filter control. Now at the moment, well, this particular filter can have different modes. You've got low pass, which cuts off all the high frequencies. If I take you can hear that, so the sound gets duller and brighter. And then you've got band pass, which is like a narrow band which moves through the frequency spectrum and allows certain ones through.
And this is where digital synths struggle, because they essentially taking like snapshots of.
Well, digital filters can be surprisingly good. There are some terrible ones, but they can be. It's not necessarily the filters, but quite often the oscillators where you really hear it, because they're always very subtly different. Yeah. Your ear can actually detect, those kind of subtle changes, but it's the combination of lots of things. Yeah. And the fact that that the modulators are all analog, so they're all very subtly different every time they come around. It all helps contribute to that kind of sound. We've got our resonance control, which on this particular one is marked dangerous.
Oh yes, dangerous. Yeah, the dangerous knob.
The dangerous knob, the infamous dangerous knob. So that being a very nice parameter in terms of how it can change the sound, that's the most obvious parameter for us to modulate, and that's what this does here. Yeah. So here we have, we can select a different source for modulation, so we can either have like the LFO, LFO1, or LFO basically, and that one. We've got our envelope, which is this thing down here, which is basically a single shot shape, effectively. So you hit the key and it will modulate it in a shape.
I see.
So if I close all the parameters down, we'll basically get whatever we get like a little click almost. As we open the decay up on that, we'll get and it gets and then our sustain level is the level that it comes down to once it finishes that decay. So
it's really aggressive sounding, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes. It can go from quite subtle to very angry very quickly. That's the dangerous knob for you. So moving on, we then got a high pass, which is the opposite of a low pass. So this is taking the low frequencies off.
Yes.
So if I, as I move the filter up, it gets gradually fizzier and fizzier.
Yeah, sure.
And then my favourite, the knock. Knock is almost like a phaser. Yeah. Because it's like a deep trough that's moving around. And so from the filter, it then comes out through to the VCA, which is shaped by this envelope, the same as the filter envelope. So that basically, so again, if I turn all values down, we get nothing but a click. And then, so the attack will soften the front of it. Decay is the... And then we've got different modes with the VCA. You can actually get it to just in like a gate mode.
Yeah.
Because this has got this bit, which I'll come on to in a minute, you can actually use this envelope to be patched in to do something else, and just have it like an organ, where it just on and off basically.
It's definitely not user friendly. It's proper, like you've got to know what you're doing. I mean, you can. It's not like a modern digital synth where you switch it on and it gives you presets. This just
it's not ready to go.
Yeah.
But it's in many ways it can be more user friendly than a lot of digital synths because everything is there.
I got you.
So there's no pages of things that you have to look through. Sure. Yes, it's not necessarily the instant gratification of presets.
Yes,
but that's completely the antithesis of what's
exactly. You've got to work it, and
the whole idea is that you get in there with your hands and you can almost kind of you have a very different relationship with it as an instrument because it becomes part of the shaping process and quite often you can find things along the way trying to get a sound that you weren't expecting that you actually prefer. So there's that kind of happy accident feeling as well, which is really nice.
The grabbing hands grab all they can, all by themselves after all. You see this, guys? That's actually played live. Wow. Yeah, so I'm after Peter Gordino's job. You're after Fletcher's job. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got bananas.
Is just like so rich. I mean, it's like,
again, it's because you've got two analog things that are constantly changing.
Yeah.
So they're never identical. They're always kind of moving past each other and so forth.
Do that enjoy the silence saw sound you. I'm putting Simon on the spot here. He's quite amazing how he can, on the fly, he can just kind of come very close to a sound. Yeah, the sound. Yeah, I wouldn't know it. That's it. It's incredibly fat sounding, even through this little. What is the speaker you've got here?
It's just a little mini rig.
It's amazing. It's amazing how fat it sounds, and
even better through a massive PA.
So do you reckon we can replicate these with digital synths, or is it just careful?
There are certainly some software ones which get very close.
Yeah. Very
close to the point where in a mix you'd be hard pushed to tell the difference.
Oh yeah.
You really would. And the majority of people won't really know.
Yeah.
It's the sound is getting very close.
Yeah.
What you don't necessarily get is the same kind of interaction and the haptic feedback and that you get when you physically touch something. And you can hear that.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a very different relationship that suddenly comes into play then, and again, it can inspire and lead you on to play things or discover sounds and things that you wouldn't have done.
Yeah.
Just by bringing something up on a screen. So it's a very kind of, there's much more depth to it that's simply just the sound. The sound is getting very close now, but again, it's that kind of tactile.
Yeah. Whereas with this, it's very random and it's very honest. Whereas with the digital, it's kind of very sort of got a.
It's predictable.
It's exactly.
It's predictable.
So it's the unpredictability that makes these things. It's kind of like going out with a hot-blooded woman, you know. You just
a tempestuous creature.
Cut. Right, guys. So this was just a really random, quick, on-the-fly. As I say, we didn't have all the cameras set up. We haven't got the lighting, but this is how we roll.
No makeup.
No makeup. I just wanted to introduce you guys to Simon. If you're on the Facebook page, you'll know he's there. This is something I want to do more frequently. I've been trying to rope Simon into this, where I want to get Simon in every now and then on the sort of Geek Talk channel, where we can just like talk deep and geek. I'd like to do a separate video where we actually go deeply in on the synthesis of the Telemark. And various other things. And Simon's really an interesting guy because he's, I don't want to names drop, but he has worked with Alan Wilder before on the auction project, which we may or may not talk about in another video. But guys, I just want you to leave your comments below. Say hi to Simon on the Facebook page. And Simon is now going to play us out. What are you going to play us out with, Simon?
Tora, Tora, Tora.
He's going to play us out with Tora, Tora, Tora. It's your moment, Simon. Go for it. Rock solid timing, and it's funny, you guys obviously can't hear it, but just through that speaker, it's so fat and like got the balls. Guys, Vaughan and Simon, we'll see you on the next episode. Adios.